Church, thank you so much. This is our 4th mission trip to Haiti, and it doesn't stop wowing me every time we go. This happens to be our largest trip. We've taken 18 people, and I'm not going to share any stories. We have some interviews that you're about to see. You're going to see some clips from what we've done this week, but the stories that are already happening are going to blow your mind. Just when I think I've seen it all here in Toman, Haiti, away from everything, something new always happens, and it just gives me a greater thirst and a greater hunger to want to come back. And remember, church, our philosophy is 100% of people go. You either go physically, you go financially by sending out some support, or you're going to go prayerfully, okay? So how can you go on our next mission trip? Enjoy this video and be blessed.
When we left the airport and we started on our way to the Hope Center, it's just absolute chaos everywhere. It's just no organization anywhere.
It was kind of crazy. There's like no stop signs or red lights or anything, and cars are just going everywhere.
We always watch those movies of like Afghanistan and Iraq, and you see the concrete buildings and the crazy traffic, and it met every expectation of that times 10.
We rode a tap-tap to Toman, and a tap-tap is like a bus, but it's got wooden slats, and you sit on these wooden benches that are not very comfortable for about 3 hours on a very, very rocky road, and it's only one lane, and you're on the side of a mountain.
I was just kind of shocked at the poverty level and just how many buildings are just completely broken down.
Toman is a town, a village outside of Port-au-Prince, about 2.5 hours up the mountain road village. And I guess you could consider it a rural town. And the people, when I expected them, I mean, I just knew that they'd be, because the Hope Center's always been here, I figured they'd claim to be Christians and stuff, and that's exactly what they are. You know, they're probably the most humble people that you'll ever meet.
The people were so appreciative, loving, and just welcoming you with open arms. Just so grateful for you being here. But I think more than that, what I took away this week, I was more grateful to be here than they were for me to be here, because, you know, I didn't know a lot about the Haitians or the culture or anything, but what I did learn is their love and their affection and the way they carry themselves is so much how we should model our lives, because it's so Christ-like how they are, because they stick to the basics.
The kids here are different from the kids in America in almost every way, because they have a sense of joy that I think a lot of kids don't really see. Like, they're almost never bored, even though they don't have the things kids in America have, and they just want to be loved on. And being able to do that for them has probably been the best part for me.
This week we did some construction in some bathrooms, and did some repairs to things that really needed it around the Hope Center.
Hope Center is such a vital part of this community, and it really is. It's what the name is. It's hope for a lot of these people around here, getting medicine and just everything that they provide them with. And just, if we don't do it, then somebody else will just have to. So it's just good to get that out of the way and take care of it.
One day I worked in the clinic, and I worked in the pharmacy, and I actually did the job of a pharmacist. And that was almost unreal to me, because at home we have to go through so much school to be able to even step behind that counter. But here they just put me in there and they said, give them what you think they need and go off this sheet. And that was just really eye-opening and changing that's how they live here and how we live back home.
In the clinic, I took blood pressure, heart rate, temperature, and their weight. It was really challenging we had to have a translator on spot because
most of the people obviously didn't speak English. So that was challenging, you know, letting them know that, hey, it's okay, I'm about to stick this in your mouth, or, you know, telling them where to stay and where to sit.
Today we went to a village across a mountain or two, down a riverbed named Guapolite. And as we arrived, you know, the people in Guapolite just really took us in, just showed us so much respect and love. Everybody saying hello, how are you? And we sang several songs, and Cliff led a message that went really well.
The story of how this school got here is really fascinating, and it's only happened over the last couple of years. Some students just like you, teenagers, they were making a hike over here, and they asked, hey, where do the kids in Machias, where do they go to school? And they said, well, they either hike the long hike that we just made, or they don't go to school. And so the girls were so moved by that they went home and they said, we need to do something about it. We need to build a school in Machias. And so they asked But God Ministries, what would it take to get a school here? And they said, well, it'll take about $20,000. Most of us would have said, well, that's the end of that. But they started a campaign to raise money, and in just a matter of a couple of months, they raised $20,000, and very quickly the construction of the school began. And not only does a community get a school, but they created jobs for several months. You know, it creates a strong infrastructure here, and it builds this community to where it's its own, you know, identity. And it all started because God spoke to two teenage hearts, two girls, and they were so moved. So if two teenage girls can raise $20,000, I wonder what He could do through you. You know. Bonjour. Pastor, yes. Yes, sir.
I feel so honored, Pastor Cliff, having you around, guys.
The honor is all ours. Thank you for allowing us to be here.
The Hope Center really does it all. They have the clinic that physically helps people and heals their wounds and meets their needs, but they don't stop there. They go as far as to heal them spiritually as well.
They have a pharmacy with all the medicines that you can think of that I never even dreamed they would have in Haiti. And they have a doctor and a nurse staff that is amazing. And then another big thing is, like, they're great with the kids.
BGM does all this stuff long term instead of just coming in and doing it real quick just to help the community, because it shows God's love and the consistency.
People know that the clinic is here and that they can come and get help, and they know that if they need something, they can always come here and talk to somebody. And also the Hope Center has went out into the community, so like people know people know about Jesus more because they help show their word through VBS and through Bible studies. I heard this quote at Chrysalis, and it's like, share the gospel as much as you can, and when you need to, use your words. So I just think by taking care of their simple little health needs, or sometimes their bigger health needs, like, it's still showing them Jesus, and just being able to provide that for them really changes their life.
I'm sure before the Hope Center, most of these people in Toman had no idea who Jesus Christ was, but now many of them claim to be followers of Christ and just live that life.
This Hope Center has helped clothe a lot of the Haitians, and it has evangelized in the area, because before this it was just I mean, people were doing voodoo, and it was a mix between like voodoo and Roman Catholicism, but now they have somewhere that they can go to that will help them and goes out into the community and spreads the word of God.
The way that they welcome everybody in, I mean, the women's Bible study, people come from, it starts at 2 and they're still trickling in at 3 o'clock. And no one's turned away. They're all allowed to come in and worship.
During the women's Bible study, it was just a bunch of women from the community coming in, and we just kind of went through a short Bible lesson, but even though it was not much at all, they were all just so excited and so happy.
People have like grown more spiritually that I've noticed from people I remember 2 years ago.
My favorite moment has probably been the men's Bible study that we've been having. Just how hungry they are to hear Cliff bring the message and everything.
They were so intelligent. You know, when you come to a third world country, you think, I don't know, it's just kind of a thought in your head that maybe they don't have the best intelligence because they don't have the same opportunities we have, but that's the opposite. These men were so intelligent, and the questions they asked, and they asked Cliff, it was unreal, and I couldn't believe it. And how grateful they were for Cliff being there to teach a Bible study.
I was talking to Kenterison, and he said some of them come from 2 mountains over just to hear Cliff speak, which I may not have done, but it's just great. It's really inspired me a lot just to see how hungry they are for the godly wisdom.
Just how spirit-driven they were and how filled with the Holy Spirit they were. These men, they don't know a whole lot, but what they do know, they have faith in God, and that's all they have. See, it's like in Covington, you know, or America, we have so many things to rely on. We have wealth, we have money, we have, you know, prosperity, but here, all they have is survival, and what they lean on is Jesus.
I think it hasn't really happened yet, but I think the most challenging thing will be leaving, because you leave knowing that everything isn't fixed, but you still have to go home.
What's touched me the most is how like thoughtful and like selfless the kids are, and how like no matter what, like they're always thinking of you first. No matter how like hard their situation is, they're always there to help you and lift you up.
My most memorable moment was working in the pharmacy for 2 days, because they have very limited medicine and they don't have any trained pharmacists. They only have one trained physician, and everybody else just isn't really qualified to do the job, especially me. I'm 17 years old and I was a pharmacist for 2 days. But it really showed how I can help out with these people of Haiti that really have nothing.
My most memorable moment has been hanging out with the kids and just being able to love on them and just see their excitement when you come around.
My most memorable moment is the worship here in Haiti. I love worshiping through music personally, so getting to hear how excited and happy they are and just how much joy they put into a simple song is so eye-opening, and I love it.
One of the workers in the clinic, her name's Anna Belkey, she asked me and my mom to come see her house. And for Haiti, she has one of the nicest houses. And everybody has their own bed, everybody has their own room. It's just very clean and well kept. But seeing how that is their nicest house, one of the nicest houses in Haiti, and it being so tiny and made of cinder blocks, it was just like, everything in this world's materialized. And that, you know, she's full of joy, their family's full of joy, and they live in a cinder block house that is considered a big house in Tomon.
I think the most memorable thing would be that these kids that have like nothing are so generous and helpful, and We were walking down the mountains and they're super steep, and these kids have holes in their shoes and the rocks are sharp, but they still hold your hand and go down the rough parts so that you can walk down the smooth parts, and they help you down. When you slip, they pick you up. They hold back thorn bushes so you don't get cut.
This little girl holding my hand, helping me up a mountain. She was just so sweet. She didn't try to ask me for anything. She was just trying to help me. And we got back to the Hope Center, and I thought about some shoes that might fit her. So I took her inside and gave her the shoes, and just the look on her face when she got them, she was so thankful. She didn't have to say anything. She just gave me this huge hug and the biggest smile you've ever seen, and it was just a total God moment for me.
I think it's important for people to come to Haiti, even if it is for a short period of time, just because when the kids see new people and new faces and they know that you really care about them, it just lights them up, and they just love to see new people.
There are needs here that need to be met that these people can't provide. And also, if you personally can't provide a certain skill, it can also be a changing experience for you and something that you need in your life.
This trip is important to people because it opens your eyes. You hear about Haiti and you hear about the poverty in the world and the conditions people live in, but you can't even comprehend how real it really is until you go and see it.
A lot of people, when they think of a mission trip, and I really thought of it, when I thought of a mission trip, I thought, we're going to be out in the streets sharing the gospel, getting people saved, which that is part of it. But the big part of it this week has been just working on ourselves, really, and seeing just how good we have it, and just the love these people have for Jesus, and they don't have near as much as we have, and they aren't blessed with near as much material things as we are in our country. And it's just really humbling to see the faith that they have just through all the hardships that they go through.
It's important for people to continue to come, and even if it's short term, because there's always a need for more help, more volunteers.
The people here that are here permanently do so much, and they just need help. They need a break, and they need somebody to encourage them and just maybe take a load off their shoulders, even if it's just for a week.
You hear about Haiti and how terrible it is and the awful conditions that they live in, which are all true, but the people here are amazing, and it's a very, very beautiful country. And if you have the opportunity to come to Haiti, you should.
This trip to Tomont, Haiti has just been one of the most humbling experiences of my life, to see that people who have hardly no material items can be so happy and find peace and just love Jesus Christ, and it's just been awesome.
I think there's a really special part of God's personality here that you don't see in America.
I just want to say thank you to the church and anyone who helped get me here today. I'm so thankful for this experience. It was definitely life-changing, and thank you for all y'all have done.
I just want to thank our church family for all the prayers and support through us traveling and coming back home from Haiti. And I also want to thank my family and friends for all the support and love for me to be able to come on this trip.
Thank you for all your help, for all your prayers financially, and for even making this trip happen. I know that y'all do everything, and with all the clothes that the ladies make, and the food and all the extra help y'all do behind the scenes and don't get credit for.
I just wanted to say thank you so much to First Baptist for giving me the opportunity to be able to do something like this. It's been life-changing, amazing, really eye-opening, and I'm just so thankful that I had this experience. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been praying for us and donating to this cause, because it really has helped so much more than you can know. So thank you so much.
Thank you, FBC, for all the prayers and support of getting this group of really young people to come out of the country to Haiti and to share the gospel. Your support has really helped a lot along the way.